Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. These are the outlines of this lesson. In this lesson, first of all, we will learn that how to find the minimal polynomial of all the elements of a finite field over some other field by using the minimal polynomial of a primitive element. That is, if we know the minimal polynomial of a primitive element, then by using this minimal polynomial, we can find the minimal polynomial for the other elements. After that, we will discuss how to factorize this type of polynomial over the finite fields. And in this regard, the cyclotomic cosets will be very helpful. And at the end, we will define the concept of cyclotomic cosets. So first of all, we recall that if we have this field extension, fq is contained in fq power m, and let's say alpha is any element in fq power m, then these elements will be the conjugates of alpha over the field fq. And if degree of alpha over fq equals to m, then the cardinality of this set, which consists of all the conjugates of alpha, will be equal to m. That is the degree of alpha over fq. And in general, the degree of alpha over fq will always divide this number m, that is the degree of this field extension, and the cardinality of this set will be equals to the degree of this number alpha. And we know that if two elements theta 1 and theta 2 are conjugates, then they will have the same set of conjugates. And the cardinality of this set is equals to degree of this element, this algebraic element over the field fq. So these things we already know about conjugate elements. And now we will learn that how to obtain the minimal polynomial for all elements of a finite field over some of its subfield by using the minimal polynomial of a primitive element. So I will explain the procedure with the help of example. So we start as follows. Consider the field F9 and let theta be a primitive element in this field F9. Then we can write F9 as F3 extended in this primitive element theta. We know that for any field extension of finite fields, the primitive element in the bigger field can be taken as a defining element over the smaller field. And therefore, we obtain that the degree of this number theta will be equals to 2, because degree of field extension is 2. Therefore, degree of theta will be 2. From this, we conclude that the minimal polynomial of theta must have degree 2. So we have to select some minimal polynomial of theta, and that polynomial must be irreducible over the field f3. So we select this polynomial, which is an irreducible polynomial over the field f3, and we choose this as a minimal polynomial for theta. And notice that we cannot choose x square plus 1 as a minimal polynomial of theta, because otherwise the order of theta will be equals to 4, because then theta square plus 1 equals to 0. This implies theta square will be equals to minus 1 and theta 4 will become 1. So you have to be careful while selecting the minimal polynomial of this element theta by because this is a primitive element, so this element must have order equals to 9 minus 1, that is 8. So order of primitive element is 8, it cannot be 4. So we have to be careful while selecting in this minimal polynomial of theta. You can also adopt the following method here, that you choose some irreducible polynomial of degree 2 over f3, write all the elements of f9, and then you can select some primitive element and you can start, but this is your choice. You can also start in this way, that first choose some primitive element and then you can select some minimal polynomial, keeping in view that the order of theta must be equals to 8. And now we have we have take this polynomial as a minimal polynomial of theta over the field f3, and therefore this polynomial will be a defining polynomial for this field f9. And now we can write the elements of f9 in powers of theta. Because theta is primitive, we can write all the elements in the power of this primitive element. What is our plan? Our plan is to obtain the minimal polynomial for all the elements. We know the minimal polynomial of theta is this one. We select this, and now by using this polynomial we will find the minimal polynomial for theta square, theta cube, and so on. So the procedure is the following. First of all, we will find all the sets of conjugates. The conjugate of 0 will be only 0. Conjugates of 1 is only one element, that is 1. What are the conjugates of theta? That will be theta and theta cube. You know by a theorem that how to obtain the conjugates. We have to take powers of theta. Powers, first of all write theta, then take power of theta equal to this element, that is 3. And if again I take power theta, that then we will get theta power 9, that is equals to theta again. So we will get repetition. So we stop here. And then how to find conjugates of theta square? We write all the conjugates by the same method. We write theta square and then theta square power 3 equals to theta power 6, and after that we will get repetition. So we will stop here. And similarly for theta power 4, we write theta power 4, and when we take the power 3 we will get theta power 12, and theta power 12 here is equal to, theta power 12 will be equals to, because theta power 8 is 1, this is again equals to theta power 4. So therefore we will obtain this element. Similarly for theta power 5, we write theta power 5 this, then take whole power 3, we will get theta power 15, and theta power 15 will be equals to theta power 7 into theta power 8, that is 1. So in this way we will get all the sets of conjugates, and you know that these sets will make a partition of this field F9. So after that, what we will do, after that we start writing the minimal polynomials. So what is the minimal polynomial of 0? You know, is very easy, is x. And about minimal polynomial of 1, because they have only one conjugate, they have only one element in this set of conjugates. So only this polynomial. And now for theta cube, and because theta cube and theta are conjugates, so they will have same minimal polynomial. And how to obtain this polynomial? We know from the start that minimal polynomial of theta is this one. So even if you take the linear factor x minus theta, even you can even here you can compute this by using x minus theta into x minus theta cube, and after calculations and using the relation of a given polynomial, you will see that this minimal polynomial equals to this. And also you also notice that we know that minimal polynomial of theta is this one, and these two elements are conjugates, so they must have same minimal polynomial. So we can also write directly. And now this minimal polynomial we know from the beginning, that is minimal polynomial of theta, and our target is to find the minimal polynomial for the remaining elements, and all the elements are in fact the powers of primitive elements. So now for theta cube, our job is very easy, because theta cube is conjugate to theta, so it will have the same minimal polynomial. And now the next part, what is the minimal polynomial of theta square? And the minimal polynomial of theta square, we have to see its set of conjugates, which are the elements in the set of conjugates. For theta square, we have these two elements. So these two elements will have same minimal polynomial, that is given by, we take the linear factors using these roots, that is we write x minus theta square and x minus theta 6, and after calculation we get this. But if we see here this polynomial, the coefficients are not, for the moment the coefficients, we require the coefficients in the field f3, because we are taking the minimal polynomial over the field f3, the coefficients should be in the field f3. But it seems that for the moment it seems that coefficients may be outside of this field, so we have to clear this. But wait a moment. First of all, we will see uh, what is the minimal polynomial of theta 5 and theta 7. They are conjugates, they will have the same minimal polynomial, that is given by this product. And this product is equals to, after calculation we get x square minus theta square plus theta 7 into x plus theta power 4. Similarly, minimal polynomial of theta power 4 equals to this, because theta power 4 have only one element in its set of conjugates. So we have only one factor here. And now we have to make clear that these elements, that is theta square plus theta 6, theta 5 plus theta 7 and theta 4, they should be in the field F3. And this we have to prove, and we have to find the values of these expressions by using the relation. We know that from the given minimal polynomial, starting polynomial, we know that theta square plus theta plus 2 equal to 0. From here we obtain that theta square equals to minus theta minus 2, and because minus 1 equals to minus 1 equals to 2 and minus 2 equal to 1, so by using the modulus 3 we can write theta square equals to 1 plus 2 theta, because minus theta equals to 2 theta and minus 2 equal to 1. And also we get theta plus theta square equals to minus 2, that is equals to 1. So first of all, from this relation we get these expressions. And now our target is to find the values of this. And there is no fixed method. You have a freedom of choice. You can calculate these values by any method that is convenient for you. For instance, we first of all we I want to find theta square plus theta 6, and first of all I proceed as follows. I take square of both sides of this polynomial. This expression I get theta power 4 equals to 1 plus theta square, because 2 theta all square is 4 theta square and 4 equal to 1, and plus 4 theta, that is equals to theta. And after putting the value of theta plus theta square 1, we get 2. So we first thing we obtain that theta 4 is 2. So here this problem is solved. Here we can replace this element theta power 4 with this element 2. And now the problem is to find the values of these elements. And now by multiplying on both sides we get theta power 5 equals to 2 theta. And how to get theta power 7? We multiply these two elements, and after putting the values we get theta 5 plus theta 7 equals to 2 theta into theta power 7 equals to this value. And when we add them, we take common as 2 theta, and when we get 1 plus 2 theta, that is equals to this value. And we know that if we take 2 common, this is 4 equals to 1, we will get theta plus theta square, and that is equals to 1. So we obtain that theta plus theta 7 equals to 1. Maybe you can perform this easy calculation by some other method, that is there is no fixed method, there is a freedom of choice. You can maybe some students can solve by taking all the powers of theta, multiplying both sides by theta, then simplify, then again multiplying both sides by theta, then simplify. So you can adopt any method which is convenient for you. But and now the next problem is to find what is the value of theta square plus theta power 6. So we write theta square plus theta 6. We take common theta square, and after that we get 1 plus theta power 4. And we know that theta power 4 equals to 2. Theta power 4 equals to 2, and it means here, because theta power 4 equals to 2 and 2 in fact equal to -1, so it means theta power 4 plus 1 equal to 0. Or the other method is the following: just put the value of theta square here. If we put a value of theta power 4 equals to 2 here, we will get 1 plus 2 equals to 3, and 3 is 0, so you will get 0. So in this way we can find the values for these expressions. And after putting the values, we obtain that the minimal polynomial of theta square is this one, because and minimal polynomial of theta power 5 and 7 is this one. So, and also minimal polynomial of theta 4 is x minus 2, by putting the values that we obtained by doing these calculations. So this is the method to how to use the given minimal polynomial of some primitive element and then find the minimal polynomial of all the elements. Here notice that theta was the primitive element. From start we know what is the minimal polynomial of theta, and by using this expression we can find the minimal polynomial for all the remaining elements by using the conjugates. And next and further notice that by using this minimal polynomial, if we multiply all these polynomial, we get the factorization of this polynomial, because this polynomial has total 9 roots that are the elements of f9, and if we multiply their minimal polynomials we get this. And also notice that if we cancel by x on both sides, then this polynomial will have 8 roots, and notice that all the roots of this polynomial are roots of 8th root of unity, that is their power 8 equals to 1. So all the elements in F9 excluding 0 are 8th root of 1. In F9, every element is 8th root of unity except 0. That is, every element is a solution of this equation in F9. This is for every finite field we know. And here uh, here further see so here if we cancel x from both sides, we can obtain the factorization of this polynomial x minus x power 8 minus 1 over the field f3. All these factors are in over the polynomial ring over the finite field f3. And so this is the procedure how to use the minimal polynomial of primitive element and find the minimal polynomial of remaining element. And one remark here is important, in that in the previous slide, it is important to remark here, you know, that this because primitive element is defining element, so it must have degree equals to degree of field extension, that is 2. But the converse of this the converse of this is not true. That is, it is not necessary that if every element of degree 2 is primitive here. Maybe some element have degree 2, maybe some element is defining element, and it cannot have it is not a primitive. For instance, here you can see that theta 4 um, is not primitive, but it can also be taken as a defining element. It has also degree 2 over, because the polynomial not uh, Sorry, not theta 4, but the elements theta square and theta 6 both have degree 2, because their minimal polynomial has degree 2. You see, the minimal polynomial of theta square and theta 6 is also 2. So these two elements has degree 2 over the field F3, but they are not primitive elements, because the order of theta square is, we can see that the order of, if we take its square, we will get theta power 4, and theta power 4 equals to -1. So if we get its power 4 on both sides, we will get theta power 8, that is 1. So it means the order of theta square is 4, not 8. So theta square is not primitive, but it has degree 2. And however, theta 4 has degree 1. It does not have degree 2. But I am my claim here is the following, that I want to the important thing is to mention here is that, let me erase this first, that I want to remark that if the primitive element, if some element is primitive, its degree equals to degree of the field extension over F3. It's okay, but the converse of this statement is not true. That is, it is not true that every element of degree 2 is primitive. Maybe there are some elements whose degree is equals to 2, but they are not primitive. For example, you see these two elements have degree 2, but they are not primitive. So the main purpose of this calculation is to show you, however, that how to use the primitive element and its minimal polynomial to obtain the minimal polynomial for the remaining elements. So this we have done successfully. And now let us move to some other example. So, and we can also vectorize this by using all the minimal polynomials. And now our next focus is to how to factorize this type of polynomial over the field, over some finite field FQ. So with the same notions used in the previous example, we notice that the field F9 is can be written in this way, where theta is primitive element and theta satisfies this relation. And here are some important observations. We know that x power 8 minus 1, if we want to factorize this, and this polynomial has all 8's root of unity in this field except 0, all the elements of root of this polynomial. 0 is the root or not root of this polynomial, but all the other elements are 8's root of this polynomial, and what we will do, we will make their linear factors, and by multiplying we will get this polynomial. It's clear, because this polynomial has degree 8 and its all roots are distinct, and uh, they are belongs to this field F9, and except 0 they are all 8's root of unity. So we get this. We take all the 8's root and we make their linear factors and we multiply, and taking the product we get this. And now what we will do, we will rearrange these factors. How to rearrange? We take x minus 1 as it is, and then the next step is important. What we will do, we will join this linear factor with this, because theta square and theta 6 are conjugates. They will have same minimal polynomial over F3. If we multiply this factor with this factor, we will get a minimal polynomial that will be an irreducible polynomial over the field F3. Then the coefficients of this product will automatically moves in the field F3. Similarly, if we combine this one factor with this one, they have same minimal polynomial, and this will be separate, and theta power 5 factor will be combined with theta power 7 factor. And here, after rearrangement, we will write each factor with its other factor, which consists of its conjugate elements. So on the basis of conjugates, we rearrange these factors. This step is important, and by doing this, this product equals to this. As we have seen in previous example, this product equal to this, and this product equals to this. So in this way, we get factorization into irreducible polynomials. And notice that in the starting step, you see here we write this is also factorization of this polynomial, but here these linear factors are not over the field f3, because we need all the factors over the field f3, that their coefficient must be in the field f3, not outside of f3. If we see this factorization here, coefficients are outside of f3, you see, but after rearranging them with their and combining them with their conjugates, we see that we can easily replace these product with minimal polynomials, and now all the factors are in f3x. Now all the factors have coefficients in f3. So this completes the factorization process of this polynomial over the field f3. So we factorize here in this example this polynomial x power 8 minus 1 over the field f3, q equals to 3 and n equals to 8. So these are just observations. You observe that whenever we decompose the polynomial into linear factor and then we rearrange them on the basis of their conjugates, so that we get the factors inside the factors over the field f3 and with coefficients inside the field, and these are all irreducible polynomials because we know the minimal polynomials are irreducible. And now let us move to other slides, see what happened. And yes, this is important observation, also observe that this is the factorization of x power 8 minus 1, that is this. But this is important, if we take x power 4 minus 1, we can also factorize this x power 4 minus 1 over the field f3 as follows. We write his x minus 1 and it is x plus 1 because their product is x square plus 1, and this x square minus 1, and this is x square plus 1. By multiplying them, we get x power 4 minus 1. And we can also factorize this x square minus 1 because this is equal to x minus 1 into x plus 1, and x plus 1 equals to minus 2 in fact, and minus 2, this is equals to minus 2, and this can be equal to x plus 1. So notice that now not only the factorization of x power 8 minus 1, but we can also factorize x power 4 minus 1, x power 2 minus 1 by using with the help of conjugates. Notice that this is the complete product, and this product gives you x power 8 minus 1. But in order to get x power 4 minus 1, we take in order to get x power 4 minus 1, we take this factor and we take this factor. This is x minus 1, this is x plus 1, and then we take two other factors, that is no, we take this one, and we take these all factors also. So we take only these 1, 2, 3 and 4 factors, and we get x power 4 minus 1. And also notice that if we want to get x square minus 1, then what we do, if in order to get x square minus 1, we get x minus 1, and this only these two factors will give you x square minus 1. And if we take all the linear factors, and we will get x power 8 minus 1. And the important thing to note here is that not only the factorization of x power 8 minus 1 is obtained, but we can also factorize the lower degrees. But condition is that this number 4 must be a divisor of this number 8. And here, in order to factorize this polynomial, one thing is also important. 8 is a divisor of 9 minus 1. Similarly, and 4 is also a divisor of 9 minus 1. 2 is also a divisor of 9 minus 1. So this condition is necessary. I think I feel that, for instance, in order to factorize this over this, maybe we required such type of condition that and this 4 divides q minus 1. Maybe we will see, we will investigate it in the coming slides. But important thing is to here is that it means we can also obtain the factorization of this and over the field F3 in terms of conjugates. For instance, in case of x power 4 minus 1, we take these sets of conjugates, that is 1 theta square minus theta 6. You see, in this case we have theta square and theta 6, and in case of x square plus 1, the set of conjugates, that is 1 itself, and that is other is theta power 4 minus 1. So this we notice that the conjugates are also helpful for the factorization of x power 4 minus 1 and x power 2 minus 1. But in the first case, we required the complete sets of conjugates, and by using this we get all the minimal polynomials and we get factorization of this. But in the second polynomial x power 4 minus 1, we required only 1 theta power 4 and this set of conjugates. We have only 3 sets of conjugates required to factorize this polynomial, and we required only 2 sets of conjugates to factorize this polynomial. And now mm, let us see what is in another slide. And now here question arises that in general, when we will, this is an example. From example, we get some observations and we get some ideas how the things are working. For instance, you notice that when we factorize x power 8 minus 1, what we required, we take the field F9, we take the field F9, exclude 0, and take all the sets of conjugates of these non-zero elements. And by using these elements and uh, dividing these elements into set of conjugates, we get factorization of this polynomial. And now when we want to factorize this polynomial, we also required the element from the same field. We are taking element from the same field, but now we are taking not all the sets of conjugate. We take only 3 sets of conjugate, one, this, and this. But there should be some general procedure that how to obtain this set of conjugate. For instance, in general, if we are working in general, for instance, in general, if we have some polynomial x power n minus 1, question is the following. For instance, if we have some polynomial x power n minus 1, we have all the sets of conjugates, and then we want to factorize this polynomial. And how can we obtain that we are required this set of conjugates? Because if we know the set of conjugates, we can factorize the polynomial. But there should be some mechanism, some criteria to decide that in order to factorize this lower degree polynomial, which sets of conjugates are required. For instance, to factorize x power 4 minus 1, we choose these sets of conjugates. There should be some criteria to choose these sets, and it should be related with the degree of this polynomial, and there should be some formulation for this. In general, when we will working in for other polynomials, not for x power 8 minus 1, then for the sake of convenience, there should be some criteria to decide this set of conjugates, because if we know the set of conjugates, we can easily factorize by using the by using the minimal polynomial of primitive element. But the difficult part is to decide the set of conjugates for these polynomials. We know if we want to factorize this x power 8 minus 1, we will take the field f9 and we take all the sets of conjugates. But if we want to factorize this, how can we decide that we require these sets of conjugates? I hope you understand my question, that here we here we just make an observation by direct calculation we see which conjugates are required. But in general, if we take some other, let's say f power 64 and f power 16, then this procedure is very lengthy to decide. We have to there should be some easy way to decide which set of conjugates are required for the other polynomials and which are the divisor of these polynomials. So in order to make the life easy for this procedure, how to decide this, let us see what is our plan in the next slide. In the next slide, yes, this is an important observation. For the sake of convenience, we know first of all notice that we have this field f9. Theta is primitive element. This is a minimal polynomial of theta, and the minimal polynomial of theta we can obtain in this way: x minus theta power I, and product where I varies from 1 and 3. Similarly, when we obtain a minimal polynomial of theta square, you see here we have x minus theta square into x minus theta 6, and we can write in this way x minus theta power I, where I varies from this set. Yes, similarly, what is minimal polynomial of theta cube is the x minus theta power I, where I varies from this set. These will be same polynomials. These are in fact same polynomial. But here the message here is that if we know the minimal polynomial of theta, how to find minimal polynomial of powers of theta. The minimal polynomial of powers of theta is given by x minus theta power I. This is theta power 1 is okay. I varies from this set of conjugates, let's say, and similarly for this. And now for minimal polynomial of theta square, we obtain x minus theta power I, where I varies from 2 and 6, and they are the same. Similarly for 4, we have also only one linear factor, and for theta power 7 and 5. So here is a mistake. Here I think it should be, this number should be 5. Here is a mistake, typing mistake. It should be theta power 5, and these two have same polynomial. And here we formulate it as follows: x minus theta power I, where I varies from this set. So we can associate to this factorization with this set of powers. 1 and 3 associate this factorization with 2 and 6, associate this factorization with this factor, this set of 1, 3, and so on. And we see that if we see that if we know these sets, by using these sets we can move towards the linear factor and we can get the minimal polynomial. So only knowing this type of sets we can factorize the polynomials. Yes, we can, from these sets we can move to these minimal polynomials because they are just the powers, and by knowing the power we move to this. If we know these sets, we can move to these polynomials and we can factorize, and these sets are simple to see as compared to conjugates. Set of conjugates, they are little simple, but these type of sets, I think let me Let us move to next slide. But this type of sets are actually called the cyclotomic cosets, and they are very helpful in deciding the set of conjugates, and they are in one-to-one correspondence with the set of conjugates. You see, they are in one-to-one correspondence. The length is the same. For instance, theta square has two conjugates, theta 2 and theta 6, and this set has also two conjugates. So here, if we convert these sets uh, into here in the previous slide, if you see here, we associate these set of conjugate with these sets, which are in fact the subsets of this set 0, 1 up to 7, and you can observe that these sets make a partition of this set, and if we observe all the above sets in mod 8, then you understand that this set is actually the set under mod 8. It is the set of residue classes mod 8, and we can express this set 0 in this way: 0 dot the powers of 3 in mod 8. If we write if we want to write the elements of these sets, for instance in C1 we have the elements 1 dot 3 power 1, we have 1 dot 3 power 2, means we multiply the powers of 3 with 1, so we get C1, and we are in the mod 8. When we put I equals to 0, we get also here, sorry, this is I equals to 0, this is 1, and when we put I equals to 0, we get this 1, and when we put I equals to 1, we get 3, and when we take I equals to 2, we get 9. 9 is again equals to 1. So after that repetition starts, so we stop here. Similarly, in this set that is similarly in this set this set 2 and 6, which consists of 2 and 6, can also be defined by C2, and it consists of elements of this type: 2 into 3 dot 0, 2 into 3 power 1, and so on. And after we have to be in mod 8. After mod 8, after 8 the repetition starts, so we consist of only 2 elements in this set. So in this way we can um, define these sets in another way in mod 8. So notice here also that all the in here this is C1 is equals to, one thing is also important, that C1 and C3 are the same. If you write C3 in the same way, you will again get these two elements, and similarly C2 will be equals to C6, and C4 C5 will be equal to C7. So these are equal, and so uh, from here we observe that and these sets in fact make a partition of Z8, and these sets 0 C1 C2 C4 C5, these are total 1 2 3 4 5 distinct sets, and they are called cyclotomic cosets of 3 modulo 8, or 3 cyclotomic cosets modulo 8, and their representative 0 1 2 4 5 will be named as a complete set of representatives of all cyclotomic cosets. In fact, these here are some observations that 8 can be written as 3 square minus 1, and each cyclotomic coset contains at most 2 elements. In fact, the cardinality of cyclotomic cosets is related to the cardinality of set of conjugates, and you know the set of conjugates divides the degree of field extension, and here the degree of field extension is 2. That's why it's happened. And also we can observe that if GCD of J with 8 is 1, then that cyclotomic coset will have a cardinality 2 equals to that number. And also this is important, this is very important that here if we can use cyclotomic cosets in formation of minimal polynomials. You know you know how to obtain minimal polynomials by conjugate, but now using the cyclotomic cosets you can also obtain minimal polynomial. For instance, here when we want to find minimal polynomials of theta, we will vary j from c1, and when we take minimal polynomial of theta square, here it will be j belongs to c2, which consists of 2 and 4. So using cyclotomic cosets we can also factorize the polynomials. We can also obtain the minimal polynomials. So this remark is very important. We can use just cyclotomic cosets and put in this formula, and we will obtain the minimal polynomials of powers of theta. And let us now we formally define what is the cyclotomic coset. Before this we just observe something in the examples, and now we get the idea, and we now formally define let n be a relatively prime integer to the positive integer q, and then the cyclotomic coset of q or q cyclotomic coset modulo n containing j is defined by this set, which consists of j dot q, j dot q square, and so on, and we have to be in mod n. And a subset of a1 a2, this is inside zn is called complete set of representatives of cyclotomic cosets if these cyclotomic cosets are distinct and their union is zn. That is, if they sets make a partition of zn, then we say that these indices will be called representatives of cyclotomic cosets. For example, here 0, 1, 2, 4, and 5 are complete set of representatives. And here are remark that cyclotomic cosets make a partition of Zn, and if n equals to q power m minus 1 for some n, then each cyclotomic cosets contain at most m elements. This is due to the connection with the conjugate elements, and if n equals to this and GCD is 1, then their cardinality is m. So these are some observations. This is just a definition. We will further in the next lecture, we will again discuss cyclotomic cosets and use them in use them to factorize the polynomials of the form x power n minus 1 over the finite fields, and we will see how they are helpful. And these are references. Here I use another reference in this lecture, that is this book, and these are references, all references. Some material is taken from this book, and some material is most of them in this lecture, some material is taken from this book and some from this book. And thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.